Welcome to our next Dexter Middle School video on how to write a formula essay. And the reason I'm making this video is so that if a student is missing class when I go over this in class, or if you need some extra help on reminding you how to write an essay, this will be available for you. And this is nothing top secret or anything like that, but I will want to start by saying that among English teachers, there's two ways of looking at writing an essay. An essay can be something that some teachers want you to think about, and they want you to plan it, and then when you're writing, they want you to pour your heart out into it, and they want you to be very emotional and use a lot of verbiage, a lot of words to describe your feelings or to answer the prompt that you're going to have. And that works for many students. However, in my experience, I've found that many students come into class and they ask the teacher, what do I need to know to get past the class? What skill are you going to teach me that I can use in a higher level class or college or even in life? And that's why I teach the formula essay, because it satisfies all the requirements for class. It allows the student to organize, to write, to be on topic, and to actually develop what we call a coherent thought, or a thought process where there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it all makes sense. So what we'll be talking about today is what is called the 5-paragraph essay. So let me get started writing here. We call this, here we go, the 5-paragraph essay. And it's called the formula essay, because in the formula goes basically like this. Topic. What are we writing about? Then we have 3 that are called support. So we'll just call them support, support, support. When you're out on the playground or you're talking to your friends and you say, when you're telling them a story about something, the support, support, support are your 3 reasons why. Dot, dot, dot. And then we have a conclusion, where you really just restate your topic. What did you tell them? So, what are we going to tell them? Why do we believe that way? Tell them what you told them. Topic, support, 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 conclusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. And if we do this correctly, this first paragraph becomes our conclusion if we just rewrite it a little bit. And then from our topic, we have our opening ideas for our supporting paragraphs. And keep in mind, this is a very simple formula. It's a very good place to start in your writing career on how to organize your thoughts and get going. And I'm going to be writing this in very simple English because I teach 6th grade English. And so I'm going to write this in very simple sentences to begin with. All right, the next thing that we need to know. When we're writing an essay, we get something called the prompt. The prompt is our direction on what we are writing about. I guess you could say it is your subject or your topic. Now, keep in mind that in the elementary and middle school level, prompts usually are very simple. Please describe your favorite pet. That's the one we're going to do today. But as you get into high school and college, prompts become more complicated and you have to read them. For example, on your state writing test, your prompt might be, write a letter to your principal and take a stand on the school uniform question. Make sure to take a side either for or against and not be on the fence in the middle. Please give objective reasons why you believe your stand that you're taking. And make sure to phrase everything in the form of a letter. Now, I've seen this happen time and again. When it says write a letter, the students start to get really excited and freak out because they don't know what it means. Here's what it means. You put, Dear Ms. Principal at the top. You write your essay and you put sincerely and your name at the bottom. That is how simple it is to write a letter in essay form. But for us today, we're going to do something different. Remember that essays come in different forms: descriptive, informative, narrative. You can do a compare and contrast essay. What we're going to be doing today is a very simple narrative or descriptive essay. Describe your pet. So for us today, our prompt is going to be, describe your pet. And we may say, use adjectives. Remember that adjectives are descriptive words. So in our writing process, the first thing that we do after we've got the prompt, writing becomes basically a 3-part process. And we're going to keep it simple and keep in mind, some teachers will tell you there's other parts that go in here. Your teacher in your classroom is the one that you need to take a lead on. I am just trying to give you some tools that you can use. Okay, so the writing process. Excuse me. The first thing that we have to do is what we call plan. And this seems to be a part of the writing process that students are very reluctant to do for whatever reason. However, if you get your planning down, the essay will write itself. Then there is the drafting process. This is your first attempt at writing your essay. And then there's the revision or your final copy. Now, there are some students out there, I was one of these at one time, I could go from the planning stage to the final copy stage because I would write it in my head, and then once I had it where I wanted it in my head, I would write it out on paper. But not everybody's brain works that way, so it's a good idea for everybody to practice. I also find that as I get older, I like to do all 3 of these because my brain doesn't quite work the way it used to. So we're going to do planning, drafting, and our final copy. And we're going to break this video into 2 parts, so just bear with. We're going to cut it off here after the planning. So for us, let's just remember, our prompt is describe your pet. Use adjectives. All right, so in our planning, I like to do what's called a web. Okay, you've all seen this. We have our main idea here in the middle, main idea, MI, main idea. And so this is describe your pet. Well, we need supporting ideas, so we're going to put some legs on this thing out here. It's going to actually look kind of like a spider when we're done here. Notice that in the original, it was topic, support, 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 conclusion. I always advise my students to put a 4th support in there, because what happens if you find that you have an idea for a supporting idea, but you can't quite make it work? Well, I've got a spare here that I can use if I need it. Okay, so in my case, my pet is a cat named Buddy. Yeah, Buddy's online. If you find my Facebook page, you'll find Buddy in there. All right, Buddy was a farm or barn cat. Buddy is a boy cat. He's a very chill or relaxed cat. Not a lot excites good old Buddy. And he can, the other thing about my cat that you might want to know is that he can stay home alone. All right, so I have some supporting ideas here. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to come in and I want you to put 3 marks underneath each one of these. Okay? All right, so let's describe each one of these ideas. Barn cat. Well, he was born on a farm in Springer, New Mexico. And for those of you familiar with New Mexico, that's up in northeastern New Mexico. And he really was born in a barn. He also lived there on the farm for his first year of life. He loved living on the farm, by the way. So, Buddy's a boy cat. There was one sister cat. I called her Mess because I couldn't tell if she was orange, polka dotted, or black with yellow spots. I never could figure her out. He had 4 brothers, and they all lived. And I think some of you know that a lot of times when you have pets born that not all of them live, but in this case all of them lived. He's a very chill or relaxed cat. He likes to sleep a lot. His favorite thing to do is look out the window of our house. And he also, now this is very strange for a cat. I know some of you don't have cats that'll do this, but he likes to sit on laps. He does that. He likes to sit on a lap. He can also stay home alone. His longest time alone that he's been is 14 days. My wife and I went on vacation. We couldn't take the cat on vacation, so we set up his extra cat box. We had some extra food. We set the air conditioner, and he was a happy cat the whole time we were gone. Now, I have completed my planning here. And as you saw, I was just talking out loud and writing down ideas. This is the process of writing an essay. And it looks like I have quite a bit of stuff here that I can work with. It looks like I have a lot here I can work with. This one looks pretty good. This one might not be so much. This might be our weaker one. So I have here, now watch, here's what's going to happen. Describe your pet. My pet is a cat named Buddy. Buddy was born on a farm. He's a very relaxed cat. He likes to stay home alone. Let me tell you more about my cat. If you were listening, I just gave you the topic paragraph, and I'm going to write that for you right now. But I'm going to stop right here. We're going to pause the video, and then we're going to go into how do we write the actual essay.